What's going on, America? Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I'm back with a second episode of looking at Trump's policies when it comes down to Agenda 47. Now, in the last video, we were focusing on, of course, his approach towards the cartel and how he would handle it. And we really wanted to stress emphasizing that it is more important to look at policies and not personality. We know that there's a lot of rumors surrounding Donald Trump and Agenda 47, but if you don't hear what Agenda 47 is and what the policies are and how they benefit you or not, then you're relying on taking that from the media. And unless you've been living under a rock, you see that there is a large majority of the media who doesn't view Trump favorably. And they've gone so far as to say Agenda 47 means that Trump is about to become a tyrant, a dictator. He's going to go back to, slavery, all of these things, these so far out and left field things that you could possibly think of. And the first thing you should say is, well, does that make sense? Is that close to reality? Maybe I should go and either read it for myself or hear it from Trump directly to see if these are policies that benefit me, regardless of how you feel about Trump personally. You got to start thinking as we move towards 2024, let me focus on policies, not personality. But how can you do that if you don't know what the policies are? If you're getting the policies from people who want to destroy Trump. So that's why I'm doing this series. So we're about to go ahead and jump right into this. Now, remember our goals and objective. Number one, we want to make sure that we focus on policies and not personality. Number two, we want to bypass the media's narratives, motives, and propaganda. Number three, determine whether these policies are good for you. Number four, determine are these policies good for the country. And finally, five, decide whether these policies are rooted in tyranny, corruption, or evil. Because that's what they've been telling you. All of these policies, all of these things in Agenda 47 are rooted in tyranny and Hitlerism and stuff like this. So let's see what Trump has to say about this next policy. Let's get it. What's going on, America? Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Before we get into this video, I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, share my videos. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure your notification buttons are turned on to all. Subscribe to my alternative channel, just in case YouTube give me the slip or something. You'll know how to find me. Don't forget to check me out with all the podcasts and follow me on Rumble in the Jungle. All the links are listed below. If you want to donate to my channel, feel free. Those links are below as well. Now, with no further ado,
welcome to my party, we're just getting started.
Agenda 47, no welfare for illegal immigrants.
Joe Biden is running a non-stop conveyor belt importing illegal aliens from all over the world into our country, and the Biden Department of Homeland Security is abusing its so-called parole authority to give them more governmental benefits than many law-abiding citizens, including our vets. Our vets are being taken advantage of. Our citizens are being taken advantage of. It's very unfair, and it's not going to stand. Under this horrendous abuse of power, millions of illegals will be eligible for billions and billions of dollars in welfare benefits, courtesy of you, the American taxpayer. So not only is Crooked Joe surrendering your borders and your sovereignty, he is stealing your hard-earned money to redistribute it to people who have no business being in our country. They should be in their country. This is not sustainable by anybody, certainly not sustainable by us.
So far, has anything he said not made sense? I mean, is what he's talking about, is it not true? We see what's happening now. Unless you are a person that is that open-minded with your finances and, all of the things that we should do to accommodate all of these people coming, and can't bring this whole problem to a personal level, meaning if this was your family, would you decide to take care of everybody else in the neighborhood before your family? As an American, your first thought should be, well, isn't our government responsible for making sure we have everything that we need first before we start dishing out money to everybody else? Now, there are some people in our society that are bleeding heart liberals. They either maybe don't understand the impact that this has on our country. Maybe they don't have a job. Maybe they don't have a business. Maybe they don't pay taxes. Maybe they don't understand how this right here takes away from not only your pocket, but the whole country as a whole. When our country has major problems with our homeless, with our veterans, all of these people should be taken care of first. But yet the Biden administration are using money from taxpayers to take care of illegal immigrants. So does that make sense? That eventually will come back to haunt you personally. Now, there's been groups of people who never paid any attention to this until recently. All of these illegal immigrants were shuffled into their cities. Now, these are groups of people that are white, nationalists, Trump supporters. Look at Chicago, look at New York, look at some of these inner cities where they're predominantly black and Latino, and see how they feel about all of these illegal immigrants coming into their neighborhoods, taking up resources, putting a strain on their economy, using up tax dollars, even potentially growing into violent areas and things like that, to where now you got to worry about your kids. So a person who can't see this as a problem is a person removed so far from the problem that they're looking at it through rose-colored glasses versus reality. So let's go ahead and finish hearing what Trump got to say about this, because so far I think what he's identified at least is an actual problem. And when you're looking at a politician, first thing you got to ask yourself is what they're telling you that the problem is it real? Is it a real problem? Or is it something they made up so they could manipulate your emotions? This is a real problem. You can see the millions of people coming across the border all over the place. You can physically see them. Unlike the Democrats that will often tell you there's a problem, and yet you say, but I don't see that problem. They'll say things like white nationalism is the greatest threat to the homeland. And I have not seen a white nationalist or a Nazi running around anywhere. They'll tell you that black people can't get IDs. Therefore, we got to get rid of voter ID requirements for voting. And yet, being black, I've never heard a black person say they couldn't get an ID. This wasn't a problem that black people brought to the Democrats and said, we can't get IDs. We don't know where to go to get them. This was a problem that they told everybody was a problem so that they could solve a problem for them, which is ID requirements for voting. How are you going to bring all these illegal immigrants into the country and eventually convert them into Democrat voters if you can't jump over that little pesky hurdle of requiring voter IDs? See? Now let's continue. Trump.
The United States is trillions of dollars in debt, yet the radical left Democrats are illegally dispensing public benefits to illegals while they try to massively raise your taxes. The radical left communists hate you, and they hate our middle class. Under Biden's scheme, the benefits that will go to illegal aliens include food stamps, free health care, welfare checks, and a host of other programs, the likes of which you would not even believe. In addition, Biden is also giving illegal aliens work permits to take jobs away from American citizens. And then if they have children, not only do the children get automatic citizenship, but they unlock a trove of additional government benefits flowing to illegal immigrant households. In the meantime, our vets suffer and our citizens suffer.
Now, so far what Trump is describing is the problem when it comes down to all of these individual resources going to all the illegal immigrants. Now, before anybody starts saying, well, that seems kind of cold-hearted how he's talking about them, we're all for charity if we can afford it. It can't be at the expense of our own country. It can't be foolish. And the charity should be merited. It should be warranted. It should be real, meaning you don't create a problem and then solve it with false charity. You don't sit back and say, like Joe Biden said, told all these illegal immigrants, if I were you, I'd surge the border. And what did they do? They searched the border. So when they get here, now all of a sudden you want to say, we have to take care of them. This is a charity thing. No, you called them over here. You the one that encouraged them, and it made it easy for them to come across the border. And now all of a sudden you're saying, well, we have to be charitable. Well, you created a problem that now it appears that we need to be charitable. These people could have stayed in their own country, but they're coming because somebody and some people are telling them, if you come, we'll be charitable to you. Not to say that these people wouldn't survive in their own country. See, they just come here to survive in a better country. But they want people to think that these people had no other choice. They were being persecuted for their religion, persecuted for their political beliefs, and that's not the case. These people are coming here for economic reasons, and the Democrats want them to come for, number one, cheap labor, and number two, potential future Democrat voters. And then they want the United States taxpayers to be charitable for a problem that they created. They want us to take care of the problem that they created so that it will enrich them and empower them. And Trump is saying, no more. Let's continue. I'm okay with that, Trump.
On day one of my new administration, we will shut down this travesty and defend the wealth of hardworking middle-class families. I will stop the outrageous abuse of parole authority. I will reinstate my action making illegals ineligible for public housing. We will terminate all work permits for illegal aliens, and I will demand that Congress send me a bill blocking any future president from abusing his power to distribute welfare benefits in this manner. It's all being paid for by the American taxpayer. Like automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens, welfare is a gigantic magnet drawing people from all over the world. They want to come to the United States. They want to feast off the sweat and savings of the American taxpayer. It's not fair. It's not just. We're not going to let it happen. I will end it all immediately. Thank you.
So there you have it. That's one of his agendas within Agenda 47, where he's dealing with illegal immigrants. Now, Joe Biden has not come out with a plan. He doesn't talk about this. Now, as we heard, all of the things Trump just said at the end, I don't disagree with any of those things. If you continue to provide all of these charities, it will only encourage more and more people to come. Unless you have a socialist mentality, meaning, hey, we all should just be given things, okay? Then you would have to agree that this is crazy what's going on right now. When you are giving millions and millions of people the same benefits as American citizens, which have already been straining the system, and you're adding 12 million new people to the system that hasn't even come here the right way, that you personally called to come here by saying surge the border, and yet you want to funnel that out to the taxpayers to take care of it for your own personal whatever reasons you have, and you're trying to tell us, shut your mouths, don't pay attention to it, and be okay with dishing this money out and having them live in your neighborhoods and all of this stuff because of reasons that we'll make up, like climate change. They're coming here because of climate change. Reasons that we created and allowed them to come here for any reason by saying you could now apply for asylum for gang violence, which your country should be responsible for stopping. Only reason these people should be coming if they came for asylum would be persecution for religion or persecution for their political beliefs. And I guarantee you 99% of these people are not coming for that. They're coming because the Democrats said, surge the border. So if you're okay with that, go ahead, support Biden. If you're not, you probably want to support Trump. So now you see that policy is well thought out. He identified the problem, he identified the solution, and I sensed or detected nothing about race. That's the key, because what they're going to focus on when this policy is addressed is it's all driven by white nationalism, even though it's being driven by the reality of what we see and how it's impacting our country. God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in the next one. Take care.